Topic of today's video today is we are what we eat. You know, when I talk about eat, you know what I'm saying, I don't just mean like the traditional way that most people think of when you think about eating, which is like consuming food through your mouth. There are many ways to consume, to feed yourself, or to eat, or partake in food. And when I say food, I ain't just talking about food that goes to the mouth, but like, you know, I consider like what we feed our spirit, what we feed our mind, what we feed our soul. I consider that food as well because we consuming it. If we're gonna talk about the traditional way of consuming food, which is through the mouth and eating like, you know, food that's cooked, make sure that you're mindful of what you partake in and what you consuming in. Unhealthy eating habits can lead to many diseases. Try your best to eat healthy. To avoid food that's gonna be like detrimental to your health. Avoid excess alcohol. Avoid consuming drugs. It's destroying the body, man. It's like consuming poison. Food should be our medicine, you know what I'm saying? What we feed ourselves through our mouth is our fuel, you know what I'm saying? Try your best to give yourself like the top grade fuel, you feel me? And not just like the cheap stuff or the unhealthy fuel. Other ways of consumption or eating or feeding yourself is like what you watch. You know, they say the eyes are the windows to the soul. The eyes are the window to the soul, and the things that we watching on television are directly penetrating straight to the soul. You know, you feeding your soul directly by what you watch. Society today pushes a lot of violence, sex, drugs, killing, you know, all negativity. Is like that's what has been pushed in today's society as entertainment, you know. And that's, if the eyes are the window to the soul, then we taking in all that negativity. Imagine what your spirit like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people say like, God know my heart, but you know, I be wondering like if we know our own heart, because I'm pretty sure God knows our heart, but do we know our heart? Because we consume a lot of negativity through what we watch on television. You know what I'm saying? The eyes are the window to the soul, and if the soul is corrupt by what we watching, 9 times out of 10 our heart is too. You know, we live in a society nowadays where like we've become like numb to like violence and killings and shootings, and that's not a good sign of a healthy heart. Be mindful of what you watching on television, or just what you watching, period. What you allow your eyes to gaze upon. Another way to feed yourself is through your ears. You know, the ears are another way to directly feed your spirit, or feed your mind, or feed your soul. You got to be mindful of what you're listening to, man. First and foremost, you have to be mindful of like the company that you keep and who you have around you, because like their mentality and what they say, their advice, their habits can impress upon your mentality and your mind. Like when you hear what they say, if you're around someone who always cussing, for example, shoot, you may pick up the habit of cussing and you may not realize that you're doing it. It's because you're being fed that into your spirit through your ears. They got a negative mentality and they always speaking negative about themselves. Like they always downing themselves. They always expecting the worst. Just like a defeated mentality. Like they can't succeed. Like they're not optimistic. They're pessimistic. They're always expecting the worst. And you always hearing them speak about the worst that's gonna happen. Then you may develop that same mentality too. Their energy, their frequency may rub off into you because you always consume it. When we talking about consumption through the ears, we're talking about frequency, sound, and vibration, which is very, very powerful. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very powerful. Like, don't sleep on the power of frequency, sound, and vibration. An example of how powerful this is, right? You know, they got this TikTok challenge, right? And it's on TikTok. It's like what they say. They'll play a song, and if you can like listen to the song for the whole duration of the song and not like move, tap your body, like tap your foot, like bounce your head, or like move in any type of way, you know what I'm saying? Then you win the challenge, basically. They basically trying to show y'all how powerful music is, you know what I'm saying? Because even when we focus our mind not to move or groove to the song when it's playing, we still find ourselves like unconsciously tapping our foot or like bobbing our head, you know what I'm saying? Bouncing our shoulders, because music is that powerful. Like sound and frequencies are that powerful. Music is so powerful, bro. Like it makes us drop our guard and it penetrates our subconscious. Like, you know, like music is disarming. Like it disarms us. It has the ability to like influence our energy. It also has the ability to influence our emotions as well. If we speaking biblically, you know what I'm saying, Lucifer or Satan or the devil was once an angel, and he was the angel that made music in heaven. We gotta guard our energy, guard our spirit, guard our mind, like, you know what I'm saying? Guard our souls at all costs, bro. Like, this is our lives, you know what I'm saying? We gotta protect ourselves, you know?